Welcome to Red Oaks Forest School. I am Executive Director Tina Brower, and I'm excited to show you around today and to welcome you to our campus, but also to welcome you to our mission and also just to welcome you to what we do here. I think our festival lineup is going to be a great preview into the values of Red Oaks, and I'm standing in a perfect example right now. It is a little bit rainy. It's kind of like a light rain, a little drizzly. It's kind of a perfect opportunity to talk about why nature immersion is the core of our values here at Red Oaks. So we believe that when you're really immersed in nature, you have such a great sensory experience, and it really opens you up to be able to explore and wonder. And when you wonder about your world, you ask questions, you get inquisitive, you look for answers, you get creative, and those are really important things to do in our life and what we're experiencing on every level, even way outside of just what's happening in nature, what's happening in our world. As we explore, we get in tune to our senses, we set aside our stress, we push pause on anxiety, and we let all that go because we're fully engaged in the sensory experience that you have when you're immersed in nature. I want to share with you a little story about myself and how I got to be director of Forest School. I spent a lot of time in my life out in nature, but I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago, so I was one of those people that loved to look at nature and loved the idea of nature, but was pretty intimidated to actually go out on my own. So when I moved here when I was 18, I didn't know anybody, and there is nature all around me, but I was too afraid to adventure out on my own. And so I spent a lot of time just wishing and driving and looking and, maybe sitting at a picnic table being like, wow, this is amazing. But never really breaking into that confidence zone where I could go for a hike on my own, until I met some friends in college, and they took me out climbing, they took me out hiking, and I just fell completely in love. It just felt so peaceful. Anxiety from school, anxiety from life, paused. Stress, gone. Big deep breaths just made me feel alive and grateful. And those were the things that I kept with me in my pocket as I went back to my normal daily life and pulled out when I needed them. And they were there for me. And when I became a mother, I was stressed out and overworked and overgoaling in every possible part of life. And having a toddler really helped me get some perspective. Like I am losing my grip because I am trying to do too much, and I think that I'm doing it, but I really was not, and desperately needing to get back outside, but wanting someone for my daughter to experience it with and to be on her level. So I met a friend, and being very comfortable with the gorge at this point, invited her out, said, hey, you want to go for a hike? Let's go do these things. We had a great time, lots of good experiences, and she told me about Forest School and where her daughter went in Switzerland, and said, I wish we had something like that here. And I was like, yeah, let's do that. We can do that. Let's start a Forest School. And so our only objective in the beginning was to commit to regularly scheduled time in nature, that everything else that we scheduled had equal value to just getting outside. And so we found a group of friends, and we started doing this, and I think we all felt a similar kind of release and escape and joy and wonder when we were exploring together. Pretty soon we had 40 or 50 kids showing up, and we became too big for picnic areas at the gorge, and that's where Angie and Colby step in. And actually Jill Hicks was the one who introduced me and told me about them, and I'm forever grateful for that mention, because Angie and Colby could not have been more gracious and excited to be a part of what we were doing here, and donated this 60 acres of Red Oaks campus that I'm going to share with you today to be our home and to serve more people and to get more kids out into nature and to get more families out into nature and get to more young adults out in nature and get more seniors out in nature, and every age and race and gender come outside and press pause on all your worries.
Here at Red Oaks we have meadow, forest, pond, stream, creeks, and vernal pools, which are shallow, warm pools in the forest that are great habitat for salamander and frogs. This property provides so much habitat for wildlife because of its diversity.
But another thing we do is recognize the importance of stewardship and conservation, as we know that this planet is our home and all of our natural resources are under threat, and we're handing all of that to our children. And we also know that the more you know about something, the more you learn to appreciate it and love it. And we want to give that gift to the next generation by teaching them and having classes to let them know, what are their natural resources, why are they worth protecting, what is conservation, what is stewardship, falling in love through opportunities of awe and wonder and joy. They cultivate their own excitement and just desire to protect the ecosystems that ultimately support their life and their future generations. Being able to educate people and get them to know their space and their place, we're hoping that they'll fall in love with it and take it home with them and pull it back out when they're having a hard day. Step outside and tap into something that's available to everyone. Something that we learn over and over again, the more intimately we're involved with every plant and animal on this campus, is that we're all in this together. And we have to watch out for each other. So one of the things that we have seen throughout all of our classes, all of our age groups, is just a growing compassion for each other and for the earth. And so that's a big part of what we're doing here, is creating opportunities for joy and wonder and compassion through community experience, through nature immersion.
Acorn Woods is home to our Mighty Acorns class, 3 to 6-year-olds who get to spend a lot of time discovering and exploring the woods and the creek in the woods, along with singing songs at the fire circle and heading through the meadow on their way each day to Acorn Woods.
At Red Oaks, a lot of our members have had extremely exciting and interesting experiences together when we're braving the weather. And I think we come out of it feeling stronger and able to go back to our day and know that we're going to get through this. And so just like Andy tells us every day now, we're going to get through this and we're going to get through it together, and that's something that we focus on every day at Red Oaks. So if that's something that resonates with you, we would love to have you be a part of Red Oaks Forest School and be a member. Thank you everyone who came out and joined us today for this virtual tour of Red Oaks. It's so exciting to share with you some of our mission and what we're doing here, as well as just the beautiful sights and sounds of our campus. We hope that we'll be able to meet you out here someday soon to share a bit of the magic.